The CSV module in Python is a part of the standard Python library, and it provides functionality for working with CSV files, which are comma-separated value files. CSV files are commonly used for storing tabular data. This includes GIS-like data such as longitude and latitude coordinates or attribute information for spatial features. The CSV module allows you to read data from CSV files, write data to CSV files, and manipulate CSV data effectively within a Python program. Let's head over to PyScripter and check out the CSV module. Okay, back in PyScripter, and we're going to start by opening up a new Python script. Remove the default code, and we will import our CSV module, which is a part of the standard Python library. We'll create a variable called GIS data, and we'll set this equal to a list. And in this, we will create a list of lists that define our CSV that we are going to write to disk. We of course need the headings. This will be a list, and we will start with city, longitude, and latitude, comma, and our next entry, our city name is Dublin, our longitude is minus 6.26, and our latitude is 53.35, comma, our next entry, we will put in Sydney with a longitude of 151.21 and a latitude of minus 33.87. London, there's a longitude of minus 0.13. No, that should not be a string. And a latitude of 51.51. And we'll do one more. We will do New York with a longitude of minus 74.01 and a latitude of 40.71. We now have our GIS data that we want to write to a CSV. Now we also want to save this in the correct location. I'm going to go up and I'm going to import OS, which we have seen in the previous video. And I'm going to use os.chdir to change directory to our standard Python library folder. So that will be on our C drive in our PyBasics folder, in our Python scripts, in our reference, and it is this standard Python library here. I'm just going to copy the path and paste in, and we'll stick the OR in front. Our current working directory will now be our standard Python library folder. I'm going to use the with keyword followed by the built-in open function, and I'm going to name our CSV file GIS data cities.csv. We're going to open this in a write mode, and we set new line to equal just an empty string. This will place each record in our CSV on individual lines. We use the as keyword and the alias of CSV file, colon. We'll create a variable called writer, and we'll set this to equal our CSV dot writer function, and we're going to supply in our CSV file variable that we have here. We're going to use a for loop for row or entry or data, anything you want to call this variable. For row in GIS data, I forgot the in. So for row in GIS data, we call our writer, and we want to call the write row function and supply in the row. So let's take stock of what is happening here. We are really creating a new CS file, and we're naming it CSV file variable. We are then creating a variable called writer, which is going to store write capabilities into our CSV. We use the CSV module .writer function, and we supply in our newly created CSV file. For each row in our GIS data, so our first row is our heading, followed by our 4 entries for our cities, we're going to write each row into our CSV. Once this is ran, because we've used with, Python will automatically save and close the file for us. So if I open up our folder, we can see we have no CSV file in there. I'm going to run this code, and we can see that our GIS Data Cities CSV has been created. I can open that in Excel or as a text file, and we can see our CSV file has been created with our city, longitude and latitude headings, our cities followed by their longitude and latitude values. I'll close the CSV. I'll minimize the window, and I'm going to comment out from with open. And I'm going to rewrite it. So I'm going to say with open. And we want to open our GIS data cities.csv. Again, we'll set new line to equal an empty string, and we use the alias as CSV file. So while up here we created the file, here we are going to read the file. You can see we are not in write mode. Our current working directory is our standard Python library, and it'll know to pick up this CSV file from that directory. We'll create a variable called reader, and you might guess it, we are going to use csv.reader to access the read capabilities of the CSV module, and we supply in our CSV file. Then for each row or record or entry in our reader, I don't know why I keep forgetting the in our reader, we will print the row. So we're opening up the CS file we just created. It is going to be called CSV file. We are then creating a reader function on our CSV file and iterating through that reader to print each row in our CSV to screen. So when we run, we can see that we get a list returned for each row in our CSV. Now we could also skip the header if we wanted to, by simply adding in next reader to clear our Python interpreter and run again. And we can see that we simply got the contents of the CSV minus the header. In this video, we saw an introduction to the CSV module available with the standard Python library. The CSV module is very useful for GIS, where you often get data as a CSV file. With the CSV module, you can read and write data to a CSV. We only really touched on the two main components of the CSV module, the writer and the reader, but I would encourage you to dig further into using the CSV module to read, write, and manipulate CSV documents.